agents, it's Rachel here, and I wanted to give you some tips on working with sellers and going through the process of evaluating offers. So congratulations, you just got your house on the market. It's gone under contract, almost. We're not that fast. All of a sudden you get a flood of showings and everybody's excited and there are people tramping through the house. Wonderful news, right? Then you start getting contract offers in. How do you evaluate them? How do you know what to look for? Because they all start kind of looking the same, right? Especially in a market like right now where we're in a seller's market where there's, sometimes 50 offers on a house. How do you possibly evaluate those with any sort of credibility with your seller? So to pull that apart, what I do is I have a cool spreadsheet and I lay them out. So it's kind of like my net sheet. And then what I do with it, I pull apart all the little features of each application. So there's a lot of different factors that I'm looking at. I'm looking at how long the termination option period is. I'm looking at who's paying for the survey, who's paying for the title policy. All of these different things that are gonna affect their bottom line when they close. I've got to have their back and help them evaluate all of these because they don't know. I mean, you could put all these contracts in front of them. They have no idea what they're looking at. They all just look like a bunch of legal terminology, right? So I'm going to go through each one of the terms on the contract very carefully to make sure I evaluate A versus B and help see which one is better. Then I got to do A versus C and D. And that's why the spreadsheet is very helpful because it helps you lay out more than that. And give you a better evaluation. Now, if you're just looking at 2 or 3 contracts, it's not quite as hard, but when you're trying to evaluate 20, it gets kind of cumbersome. So it gets to be more than just the bottom line even sometimes too. I mean, obviously your net is going to be good, but you want to make sure there are some hidden things because some really skilled buyer's agents like myself know about the different ways you can kind of get your buyers out of a contract. So you want to make sure that you don't get your sellers into a trap where they don't know that the buyer can get out of a contract because you didn't do something. An example of that here in Texas, you can actually get out of the contract as soon as you get the seller's disclosure. So if you didn't post that very completed seller's disclosure in the document list and give that to the buyer up front, that's an out for them. And they get some extra time that you didn't even really realize it. So you may be costing your seller some money there. So just make sure that you take the time to evaluate each of those offers carefully and get a good sense of things to help protect their bottom line.